Hi everyone, I'm Russ,
Mark,
and this is a spirited endeavor.
priming the pump edition.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to.
Yeah, we're kind of shooting this for the second time actually. Not in the same evening, thank God, otherwise we'd be feeling pretty good about now.
If it wasn't for technical difficulties, we would only have regular difficulties.
That's right, absolutely. So tonight we're going to be going over some Kilchoman. Now we did a run on Kilchomans previously, where we went over the Snag, the Mach-Ear Bay cask strength, and the 100% Isla, which was
that was amazing whiskey.
Yeah, and we've actually revisited that one. I think our opinion stands. But this evening we have one called the Loch Gorm, and it's a little bit of a different animal. So this is sherry finished, as is the Snag. However, this one's a little different. This one is aged only in sherry casks. No ex-bourbon casks were involved in this one.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. And the other thing that is interesting about this one, if you go on the website, they actually tell you what bodega provided the casks and basically the age. So the age of the whiskey in this varies. So what they've done is over the years, they take whiskey from their runs, they put it in a vat, and then that gets aged in the sherry cask. So there's whiskey from 2009 all the way up to, I think, 2011, 2012 in this batch.
That's also really cool that they do that. And they kind of mix the batches and blend them and get to this.
Yes,
which
absolutely.
is really, really cool.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting whiskey. We're going to get into it and let you know what we think.
Trying it for the first time again.
Again, that's right. Yeah, if we were going to have to repeat one, this is not a bad one to repeat, I think.
Sure.
So we, as you may have seen on our page, on our YouTube, we went through a run of Johnny Walkers. And this is like the polar opposite of any of the Johnny Walkers.
Yeah, we love doing it, and we love to see that end.
Yes, agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a few videos up there, and by the time we were done with them, as much as we appreciated the Johnny Walker, we were kind of over it. So now it's time to move on to something with a little bit of peat. Now, before we get too far, the ABV on this one is 46%, which is pretty much on par with what Kilchoman does.
Now, this is a single malt, right?
This is a single malt.
All right, then. All right. Woo! Back in the world of single
malt.
All right.
So, as you would expect from something that is aged in sherry casks, it does have a nice dark color. That is a natural color, and there's no chill filtration on this as well.
That is super dark, and you can get the sherry influence on it. And one thing I've noticed, especially with some specific sherry casks, is not only is it dark, but there's just a hint of red in there, like a little rose gold.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that in here for sure.
Yeah. Now this one, I have to say, does appear a little bit thinner in the glass than what we've gotten out of other Kilchomans. That's not to say that there aren't nice oils. It's just not as in your face as what we've seen before.
Yes, and that is an oily whiskey. So it's a little thin as it's rolling around the glass, but man, has it got great glass cling.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we get here.
Okay. And the first time we tried this, I didn't get much of sherry on the nose. This time I'm getting the sherry on the nose.
It's funny, the same thing just struck me.
I'm wondering if it was a little bit of the air in the bottle now.
Yep, and well, we commented on that during our last shoot, which unfortunately you're not going to see. But when we first tried it, it didn't taste quite as we expected. It didn't smell the way we expected, and we figured, okay, we get a little oxygen in the bottle, and maybe it's going to change some. I would say it has.
I would say that's affirmative. It's also maltier.
Agreed.
I didn't get that the first time, and I'm getting it here. There's a strong malt note to this, like kind of that malt funk.
Yep. Yeah, sherry and malt are the predominant things. A little bit of smoke.
A little bit of alcohol vapor.
Yeah. Wow, I like the nose on that. I like it more this time around than I liked it the first time.
I do too, and I'm getting a little caramel in there. Not, maybe a little bit of caramel, and I'm also getting a little bit of brine.
Agreed. Yes, definitely. Yeah, this is probably the brinier Kilchoman that we've had, as far as the nose is concerned.
Yeah, That's much different on the nose. That has got a wonderful nose to it.
Yeah.
Very different.
Interesting. So, okay, if you pick up a bottle, don't judge it based on the first sip. Go back to it. Clearly, as far as the nose is concerned, you'll get something a bit different over time.
And you know what? This kind of just punches up the neck pour argument
I agree.
a little bit.
Yep, I'm with you.
Because I mean, that's only been a week.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. I
Yeah.
mean, this hasn't been sitting on the shelf for like a month or a year or whatever. This
Yeah.
is a week.
And it's a good solid cork on it too, so it's not like anything weird is happening in that regard.
And I'm getting smoked now too on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're not gonna. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right. So that's peppery. It's lively.
Oh yeah.
Peppery.
Yeah, there's
Smoke.
so much.
So much. Yeah. So much smoke and peat in this. I remember the previous time we were a little overwhelmed by the smoke and the peat in this. I'm not this time.
No, I'm getting a little bit more sweetness and a little bit more of that sherry influence that perhaps we were missing that last time, but still have that peppery nature,
Yes.
still have the smoky nature to it, and a little bit of peat earthiness. I still stand by it's a very deep and complex whiskey. I still say it's one of the darker whiskeys they've produced as far as just its general mood. Kilchoman for me is kind of a lighter Isla whiskey with that citrus note.
Mm-hmm.
And the malt that you get. This one just has kind of a darker, moody kind of thing going.
Right. Still, I'm not getting a lot of the sherry influence on the palate. I got it on the nose, but
Yeah.
not as I was swallowing it. Not any part of the tongue. There's a little bit of sweetness in there. Maybe there's just like a little undercurrent, but I mean, this is not a sherry bomb.
Undercurrent is a really good way of putting that. I'm picking up a bit more sherry on the palate this time around than I did last time, but I wouldn't say that it's the star of the show. I think it's just another ingredient of what's going on in that bottle. I kind of like that. I went through a phase with sherry bombs, and I appreciate it, but I think I got a little tired of whiskeys that were predominantly sherry. I kind of like it as just another ingredient, and that's what it is here.
Yeah, absolutely, and like you said, not the star of the show.
No.
The smoke and the peat is the star of this show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is the smokier, peatier, brinier Kilchoman that perhaps you've been looking for. This is hitting kind of like a Lafroig would, maybe an Ardbeg, but different. But there are more in common with this than there would be with a different Kilchoman, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, and I think the last time I likened it more to like an Ardbeg, but I'm going to retract that. I think this is more like an Octomore.
Mm-hmm.
It's really got that smoky, peaty nature of an Octomore,
Yeah,
and it's unapologetic about it.
agreed. There's a nice sweetness to that. I really like that. Yeah, I'm digging this. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
The
And
briny
then-
nature is stronger on this one than what I've had in the past. There's like a salty nature to it.
Yeah, and I'm picking that up in the nose now, so I'm getting all of that,
point.
but that brine is starting to come through.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's like Talisker type brine.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about the Loch Gorm is that it's an annual release. In this case, it's only 15,000 bottles is for this particular year, and this one's 2019. So of course they've had 2020 and 2021, and each one's a little bit different. So flavor-wise, you can expect something a little different. But if you're getting the 2019, I think you might dig it.
Yeah, I think so. If you're a big fan of Islas and you like the smoky, peaty nature of whiskeys and everything, this is right up your alley.
And this is perfect for a cool evening.
I know it's
I
great.
gotta say, this
is nice.
perfect. We're finally getting some nice weather here in Georgia, and this is perfectly suited to it.
All right.
Well, damn.
Our scale 1 to 5. What do you think?
I'm gonna go 4.5 on this one. I really dig it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think this is. I think if you're gonna go in it expecting like sherry and sherry bomb and really liking that, I think you're gonna maybe be disappointed with it.
Agreed.
But if you're going into it looking for an Isla, you're looking for something that's going to be punchy and complex and have layers and just knock your socks off and be lively and peppery, then this is absolutely your whiskey.
So when it comes to Islas, I think Lagavulin is probably one of the more complex ones, but it's not abrasive, it's not aggressive, it's kind of laid back and chill. This one in some respects is similar to that, but it's a little bit more punchy.
Yes.
It's got the complexity, but it's like they turned the dial up just a little bit, and I really like what they did here. I love that peppery nature. There's nothing harsh about it though. I mean, there's no alcohol burn, there's no weirdness on the palate.
There's no funky aftertaste. I mean, it just kind of fades and just pleasantly, just rides off into the night. It's really a great whiskey.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking for more sherry, as Mark said, I would recommend going with the Snag. It's definitely got more sherry influence, more of those fruit notes than what you're going to get out of this one. But if you're looking for deep, dark, complex with a lot of that brine and smoke, this is your whiskey. Awesome.
Wow,
that was fun.
That was fun.
We
That's
got
a
to
good
do
one.
that twice. We need to do that more often. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, we sure did. We'll catch you on the next one.
Take care.
All right, bye.